Good morning. Monday, July 7th. Zach Howard, happy to be back with you for the week here. Long weekend. Hope everybody had a great long weekend in the US. What are we looking at to start the week? Is it different this time? That is the question. I argue that it is. Interesting tweet here by a market guy, and he's talking about the economic advisor at the White House saying, forget recession is not going to happen, zero chance. A year ago, I think most market pundits were 100% predicting a recession. And now here we are, 2025, and everything is rolling pretty good. And I argue that Keynesian defined recessions no longer are relevant because how we measure data and how actually the world is moving, looking at the lens through technology, AI, robotics, particularly Bitcoin. Traditional fiat metrics are not really being reflective in those new age economy normals. Productivity advancements, what's happening on a week-to-week basis, which would have took years before, can't show up in the data quick enough. The market is trying to reprice some of these events, and it's having a very difficult time because it is brand new metrics, especially when you look at some of these Bitcoin companies and how we're measuring stuff there. But here on this quote from Tom, looking back in history over time, when you had these levels of irrational exuberance at tops, is it potentially a shorter term topping? But zooming out long term, where is the gain? Where are we going? Where is the wealth? If anything, it's the inequality that accelerates from here because of these new factors, and the traditional defiance of a slowdown can't be seen. You just have resources being allocated to those who are able to use technology and AI better, to those who are still playing with the old school, old rules, which don't apply. Which brings me to the greatest showman of all time in this fiat world, only probably to Donald Trump, which be Elon Musk. He's the greatest fiat showman of history, salesman, for some standpoints, technology, but he is over-promised, under-delivered for years after years, yet he continues to get the valuation in the market more from the machine, the way the markets are programmed with flows and how the market is set up, as opposed to looking at a company from a traditional metrics, which no longer applies. But here he is out the weekend, spitting in the face of what made him his success. It's the fiat money printer. He's going to call it the new fiat American party. Somehow they can revive the old historical America first of austerity and leading the world responsible fiscal spending, yada, yada. Elon, that does not work in Keynesian fiat monetary systems. You cannot have austerity. Ever since 2020, 2008, the ability to have a Keynesian slowdown has been eliminated because of the fiat money printer. The game must continue to accelerate with continued debasement of the currency and continued liquidity creation via that fiat machine. Elon, you have to understand the rules of the game, particularly the rules that made you so successful, which is quite ironic for a guy who's supposed to be super genius, super smart. He does not understand the rules of the game. If he really wanted to adopt a new party, why not call it the Bitcoin party? Okay, like something that cannot be created infinitely. The fiat money machine, which is that. To that point, we are in a global quad three. Growth and acceleration in both inflation and growth is where the puck is. We continue to see higher lows, higher highs in the S&P 500, the NASDAQ, the Russell, bearish trend in the volatility reading the VIX. All that says we continue to melt up in all-time highs. And some of these high beta plays are just wild to watch. Another Bitcoin treasury company here in the UK out of nowhere. A week ago, it was in the cents. A month ago, no one even knew about it. They did a financing with the UXTO guys, and they are hot to trot up 33% here today in the UK. Smarter Web Company in the UK leading the way with these treasury companies. Here's another one. I think the UK is going to start to get the momentum of some of these other names when they realize what's available in this new asset class. That's what continues to be my focus and my interest. Into that still is the digital side and the AI side. Really, the biggest constraint on this scaling quicker or lack thereof will be the data centers, the power, and all the infrastructure needed to move this as quickly as we want to move it as a market. Deal size here today, pretty significant. CoreWeave and Core Scientific, two former Bitcoin crypto miners, more now focused on the digital infrastructure space, Bitcoin mining, AI, all these key themes that you'd be paying attention to if you really want to make alpha in the months and years ahead, as opposed to traditional Keynesian doom and gloom. That's what I got for you. See you tomorrow. And anybody else want to check us out in our Monday meeting around this evening? And have some Q&A. Have a great one.